You know that one relative? The one who walks into your house and somehow turns peace into chaos within 5 minutes? Yeah. Now, imagine that person picking a fight with your dog and somehow losing. Because what started as a harmless joke turned into a full-blown psychological war between a grown man and a golden-hearted family dog. And by the end of it, karma delivered the most perfectly timed revenge I have ever witnessed.
If you've ever had a family member who ignored boundaries, pushed jokes too far, or just refused to listen when everyone told them to stop, you're going to feel this story. So hit like, subscribe, and settle in. Because today's revenge story proves one thing. Sometimes justice doesn't come from people. Sometimes it comes on 4 legs. Our house was normally quiet. Not silent, just peaceful. The kind of peaceful where afternoons smelled like tea and detergent, sunlight came through the curtains just right, and nothing dramatic ever happened. And honestly, the biggest reason for that peace was our dog, Brimlo. Yes, I know, the name sounds like a typo. My sister picked it, and at this point, we've all just accepted it. Brimlo wasn't one of those hyper, chaotic dogs. He didn't jump on guests, he didn't chew furniture, he didn't bark at delivery drivers. The postman loved him. Random visitors loved him. Even our neighbor, who genuinely looks like a movie villain, got tail wags every morning. Brimlo trusted people, which is why what happened next felt almost personal. Because the only person Brimlo ever hated was my Uncle Dravik.
Dravik wasn't evil. He was worse. He was that guy. Loud laughs, endless stories nobody asked for. Jokes he repeated 3 times because he found himself hilarious. He visited every few weeks, and somehow every visit felt twice as long as it should have been. The first time Brimlo met him, everything was normal. Tail wagging, curious sniff, friendly energy, for about 5 minutes. Then Dravik leaned down, looked straight at the dog, and barked. Not a playful sound. A full, aggressive woof, woof, directly into Brimlo's face. The room froze. My mom laughed awkwardly. My dad said, "All right, that's enough." I remember thinking, why would anyone do that? Brimlo stepped back, confused. Ears tilted, eyes wide. He didn't understand. Neither did we. But Dravik? He thought it was the funniest thing in the world. And that was mistake number 1.
Next visit, same entrance, same loud greeting, same stupid idea. Only this time, Dravik barked louder, closer, mocking. Brimlo barked back. Not playful, not curious, serious, sharp. Warning barks. You know the kind dogs use when something feels wrong. And instead of stopping, Dravik laughed harder. Now it wasn't a joke anymore. It was a barking competition between a grown man and an increasingly stressed animal. My dad tried calming the dog. My mom yelled, "Stop doing that!" And I just stood there, thinking, how is this real life?
Dogs remember. People forget that. To us, it was a weird moment. To Brimlo, it became a pattern. Visit after visit, Dravik repeated the joke every single time. And slowly, you could see the change. The wagging stopped. The excitement disappeared. Brimlo began watching the door differently. Alert. Suspicious. Like a security guard who had identified a threat. Then one day it happened. The door opened. Brimlo ran to greet the guest like always. He saw who it was. Dravik. And instantly, full alarm mode, explosive barking, hackles raised, protective stance. Not fear. Defense. Like he was saying, I remember you. And what did my uncle do? He laughed. Ha! He loves me! No. He absolutely did not.
From that point forward, our house entered what we secretly called Operation Anti-Chaos. Whenever Dravik announced a visit, preparation began. Doors closed. Treats ready. Dog relocated. Walk scheduled beforehand. We strategized like we were preparing for a storm. And somehow, Brimlo always knew. Hours before the visit, he'd pace. He'd stare at the door. He'd sit near the hallway like he was waiting for an enemy arrival. The tension felt unreal. One time, before the doorbell even rang, Brimlo dragged my sister's hoodie off a chair trying to reach the entrance. He wasn't scared. He was determined. Meanwhile, outside the door, you could hear Dravik barking. Again. Through the door. At a dog he'd already stressed beyond reason. That was the moment something inside me snapped. Because it stopped being funny. It became disrespect. Not just toward the dog, toward all of us. We had asked him to stop dozens of times. Calm conversations, serious conversations, even arguments. Nothing worked. He always said the same thing. It's just a joke. But jokes stop being jokes when only one person is laughing.
And then came the turning point. The visit that changed everything. That evening, Brimlo was already restless. My dad sighed and said, "We can't keep living like this." And honestly, he was right. Why were we rearranging our home for someone who refused basic respect? That's when my sister had an idea. Not revenge in a cruel way, just a lesson. If Dravik thought provoking reactions was funny, maybe it was time he experienced one himself. The plan was simple. We stopped protecting him from consequences. No warning, no separation, no special arrangements. When Dravik arrived that day, Brimlo stayed exactly where he was, lying calmly in the living room. Door opened. Dravik walked in smiling, and like clockwork, he barked. Loud. Mocking. Right at Brimlo. But this time, nobody intervened. No calming voices, no grabbing the dog. Just silence. Brimlo stood up slowly. Not wild, not panicked. Just serious. He walked forward. Stopped 2 feet away. Locked eyes with him. And released the deepest, most authoritative bark I have ever heard. Not chaos, authority. The room echoed. Dravik froze mid-laugh. Then Brimlo barked again. Closer. Stronger. And suddenly, the confident Joker took 2 steps backward. "Oh, okay," he laughed nervously. But Brimlo didn't move. He simply stood there, guarding the space. Calm. Unyielding. And for the first time ever, my uncle looked uncomfortable. Here's the thing about people who push boundaries. They assume there will never be consequences. Until there are. Dravik sat down carefully, clearly unsure what to do. And Brimlo ignored him, didn't attack, didn't panic, just watched. Every movement monitored, every joke met with silence. No audience, no laughter, just accountability. And suddenly barking didn't seem funny anymore.
After 10 painfully awkward minutes, my uncle finally asked, "Does he always do this?" My dad answered calmly, "He reacts to how people treat him." Silence filled the room. You could actually see realization forming. For the first time, nobody rescued the situation. Nobody reassured him. The joke had nowhere to go.
The rest of the visit was quiet. Unusually quiet. No barking jokes, no teasing, just cautious conversation. And something amazing happened. Brimlo relaxed. He laid down, closed his eyes. Peace returned instantly, as if the problem had never been the dog at all. After that day, everything changed. Next visit, Dravik entered slowly. No barking. He spoke gently, held out his hand, let Brimlo approach first. And guess what? Tail wag. Small one, but real. The war ended not because we forced the dog to adapt, but because the human finally learned respect.
The revenge wasn't loud. There was no yelling, no dramatic confrontation. Just one perfect moment where consequences spoke louder than words. The man who treated stress like entertainment finally experienced discomfort himself. And the lesson landed. Because sometimes the best revenge isn't hurting someone. It's letting them face the results of their own behavior. Brimlo didn't seek revenge. He demanded boundaries. And honestly, he won. Looking back, I don't blame the dog at all. Imagine someone coming into your safe space again and again, mocking you, ignoring your signals, refusing to listen. Anyone would eventually push back. Turns out, respect isn't complicated. Even a dog understands it. Some humans just take longer. If this story made you laugh, or reminded you of that one relative everyone secretly prepares for, hit that like button. Tell me in the comments, have you ever seen karma hit someone perfectly without anyone saying a word? And don't forget to subscribe for more emotionally satisfying revenge stories. Because sometimes the sweetest payback comes completely naturally.